In a few seconds, something will show up. We'll just wait a bit more. There it is! Unfortunately, our happiness was quite short-lived. We noticed that the engine started misfiring, which doesn't really work well. This misfiring became more and more frequent, and we could trigger it by pressing the gas pedal. So this is when our, investigation started. We checked a lot of things, from the carburetor to the tappet to the vacuum. Everything looked quite fine, so we came to the conclusion that this engine had lived its life and would have to go out. The only upside that we can find in this is that we always wanted to upgrade this one because it's a DF engine and we wanted the more powerful DG version. We could find it actually somewhere, so this will go out and we'll replace it with the DG. And we'll tune that one to be a 2.1 liter engine. First, we deconnected everything to the engine. There are actually many cooling pipes attached to the engine, also the electric wiring had to come off. Make sure that you take pictures of how everything is attached to the engine before you take it off though. We thought that we had correctly tapped off all the cooling liquid, but no. We're almost ready for the engine to go out. We're going to put the fan down and then lift everything, and then the engine will hopefully stay in place. One thing we didn't consider is that we have to actually loosen the exhaust pipe because it won't fit through the space that we have on the bridge. So that's a bit of a shame. We'll still do that and then we're ready to take the engine out. Next to the engine, we're actually taking the transmission and the differential apart as well. We want to refurbish that. Also, we noticed some cracks in the differential, which aren't really critical, but still would be nice to fix. So we're gonna take it out, clean everything, and then weld it and hopefully put it back together again, the way it was. While taking out the engine, we actually noticed that a few things were still stuck to the bus. So be careful when you do this, because you might have overlooked something. Even though we gave up on the engine, the differential and the transmission will be taken apart, cleaned, sandblasted, painted and all put back together again. You won't see the difference between this and a new one. For someone like me who is not a mechanic, this looks really impressive and also really beautiful actually when you have a look at it. It's really interesting to see how all these pieces work together to make one working car. The transmission and the differential did not want to be separated at all. Of course, they had been together for 40 years, so what do you expect? But it took some brute force to separate them again. With the transmission and the differential finally separated, we're on to the next step. We're gonna clean everything, make sure that we replace all the rubbers, and then we can clean the engine bay and put it all back together again. Well, that part is for the next video. See you then!